Hey YouTube, what's going on? It is February 9th, 2023. However, I went ahead and stripped the audio from this one video, and it just makes it a lot more easier for editing. And I'm actually, I didn't get a chance to do the audio until today, which is February 15th, 2023. I had a pretty solid work week. Wasn't easy, it wasn't hard, it was just in the middle, in the middle. Um, So in this particular Code Academy assignment, I end up working on this little task that they have you do to make sure that you understand if statements. I think the assignment is to make like a magic 8 ball where it randomizes the response you get every time you ask a question. And in this particular one, you ask one question and then you're supposed to put maybe like 9 answers, and it'll give you, because of as a result of importing some random file or something, it does the whole random. I think it's called rand int. Maybe it's part of the function. I don't know. Um, I should start by saying I have no IT background or programming experience before this. I actually went to school for exercise science, if you guys can believe that. And yeah. Um, okay, so apparently there's something called the rand int function, rand integer, that's within Python. So that's pretty helpful. I thought that was like a separate file that we have to, but then Code Academy kind of like spoon feeds it to import random. Okay, so in any event, this is one of the tasks that I end up hamburgering. Um, I think I fuck it up towards the end because I duplicated, or maybe there's a bug in the program. It's probably me. I'm pretty sure it's me. But nonetheless, this is my four attempt at it. And man, I want to talk about this now that I'm this is fresh in my mind. So I was really plotting to going out for making a trip to the beach this morning, but um I was on TikTok last night and I couldn't help but look at all these TikToks on my feed or whatever. Talk about the whole so there was this one lady's TikTok. Sorry. There was this one TikTok about I think it was about, she said there's a series of things occurring, right? And so she's talking about the how Kenya's splitting, and she ends up talking about, what was it? Some aliens in Alaska, or like sightings of UFOs, or like some video of some guy yelling at some entity in Alaska. And then she talks about the sinkholes in Turkey, what happened in Kenya, and then the derailment that people that the government or like media was covering up in Ohio. And then I searched for like rail stuff, and something also had happened in Houston. And so all this shit that was going on, and I was trying to like piece it two and two together. And I was like, well, it seems like something's happening. I mean, I think with the Earth. I could be wrong about that, but this whole thing about sinkholes and then derailments, like what if that was part of like the ground shifting, right? Tectonic plates and all that shit. So that kind of kept me up, and I went down the whole fucking conspiracy rabbit hole looking at like, what could be going on. And then of course there was 100 theories. Okay, what if we're under attack within, like within the homeland? And then um the UFOs is like, of course, they want to distract us, right? Kind of like how COVID was a distraction and all these other shit was a distraction to what was really going on. But we're just so like, we don't, of course, because we don't know. We're looking at things through face value. We only know what we're told. And I was just like, what the fuck is going on? And then this TikToker, I forget her name. Let's see if I can pull it up. I think I saved it. It was something like birds were trying to go inside the house or something like that, inside people's homes. I thought that was sketchy. Um, Hang on. I should be able to find it here. Can you believe people? I actually think I'm gonna get hired doing this shit. I saw this one guy comment about how like, oh, like nobody's hiring. Like once you're in, you're in, and if you're not, you're fucked. Like in tech, right? And then this one guy who was like a recruiter tags that video or whatever, or he makes a response to it, and then he said something like they're hiring, but they're only hiring for unicorns. So like they'll like throw out 50 applicants because they only want like really fucking talented, they took calculus in eighth grade type motherfuckers. And plus nobody's like that here, bro. Like no fucking nobody's like that here. Um, but nonetheless. Oh fuck, I didn't save it. I thought I saved it. It was this one fucking video about the whole what had been going on. Oh well. I was gonna give that I was gonna give put out her name or her TikTok, but in any event. Yeah, so that should kind of kept me up at night. I mean, it's not like I was scared or anything, but I was just definitely thinking about it, like, man, what the fuck's going on? Because it definitely it crosses your mind, like, what is going on? And then I had met somebody at work. I had crossed paths with somebody at work who was like, "Do you know what's?" And it was this very modest and humble older woman, and she had stopped and she had told me like, "Do you know what's going on?" And I was like, "What's going on?" Like, I just started looking around. She's like, "No, like in the news." And I was like, "Oh yeah, with the air balloon, right?" And at the time, we had just heard about that whole. This was a couple days ago, so the whole air balloon thing had just happened. And she's like, "No," she she looked at me like I was an idiot. She's like, "No, don't be stupid." She's like, "No, that's just like the whole thing with they're just trying to distract you with that. Don't like don't be an idiot." And she didn't say it, but that's what she was getting at. And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And she's like, "The currency." And I was like, "What currency?" She's like, yeah, the Mexican pesos usually devaluates, right? It loses value. And apparently, for the first time, the dollar went down in value. And the Mexican peso, according to her, I mean, I don't know how true this is. Apparently, Mexico is still on the gold standard. And so she started talking about, I mean, it was like a 2 3 minute talk, but it was basically about how like something's happening with the dollar. And I was like, oh shit, maybe this is like the precursor of the economy tanking, right? And I was like, oh well, whatever, what, not a big deal. But she kind of like planted that seed, like fuck, something's up. It could be us, it could be some sort of conflict, right? That we don't know what's going on, but it's actually starting, and they're trying to like distract us with all these fucking explosions, and eventually, what's gonna happen is um, there may even be like another I don't know, like I don't know I don't know what there could or couldn't be, but basically another event or catastrophe to kind of distract us. And but yeah, she was definitely like, is this a coincidence? And so like you expect us to think this is all coincidental? Like, come on, fuck out of here. All this shit happening at once, and then the media is like boom, 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 just like flooding the fucking airwaves about this, but nobody talks about all this other shit. This one woman from Ohio was like, I live here and I didn't even know if this was going on. She lived like an hour away and she found out about it through TikTok. I was like, what the fuck? Could you imagine? And so, yeah, that was keeping me up at night. Um, what's really going on? Who knows? Who knows? Um, Just fortunate to still be employed. Fortunate to still have to eat my skirt steaks or whatever it is that you guys eat. Out down here in South Texas, we really like fajita skirt steaks, and yeah, just don't take my don't take my free time and my food, and I'm good, man. But yeah, some sketchy shit definitely going on right now. I don't know what part of the world you guys are in, but I mean, I guess this only comes across U.S. Like the U.S. part of YouTube or people that speak English. But yeah, this is some sideways shit going on for sure. It's crazy. It's a big world, but it just goes to show how important this app is. I don't even know what the fuck's going on Twitter. I haven't checked it yet, but I'm sure there's something popping off. But yeah, guys, this is my extra bonus assignment here on Code Academy. It is a basically how to make a magic 8 ball. And then these are the answers, 1 through 9. Um, I probably would have been able to do this in a list somehow. I don't know. I would think, right? Because it's just a list of text and then randomize the list. I don't know how you would do that, but I end up making an elif statement for every single fucking one. And then I make an else statement to print error in case anything else comes out. But yeah, it's a bunch of Boolean variables. That car and the as my that's my dream car, by the way. The one in my wallpaper. It's a Lexus ES 350. It's a pretty badass car. I think it's rear-wheel drive. But tell me, what do you guys think? Are you guys thinking like, you know, we're at you know what, or what do you guys think's going on? We're at more with the W, or is it just am I on? Am I has TikTok just fried my fucking brain? And then I do that else statement towards the end. Always don't forget. One of the things I've been really forgetful is putting those fucking that semicolon to resemble the then. Elif random number is 3 is true, then print whatever, and then you can put what um, answer you want it to print. Could you imagine like the recruiting team at Meta looking at this and they're like, is this a fucking joke? Like you want us to hire you with this shit? They're like they would laugh their fucking ass off. They're like, oh yeah, yeah, we're gonna put you in charge of our fucking in front of our sanitation team. Go clean the restrooms, you idiot. You know what's crazy is the people that actually like are good at like they're US born or like they went to a badass school and they got like a huge um solid from like a family member or relative and they were able to land a super badass job at one of these places and they were like, oh, and it's like, fuck, what do you do now? Like you spent your education, your career in this. Now, I mean, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna go sell subscriptions at Sling phones at Target? Or are you gonna go bag groceries at the local Tom Thumb or Walmart or whatever it is, whatever supermarket you work at? I just don't see it. It's so it's so difficult whenever you get used to a certain income and then to be able to go back to like I don't know $12 or $15 an hour. Man, that's I couldn't think of. I can't imagine what it would be like to go back. But I digress. I don't know. The way things are going, I'll probably stick to IT. But not to say that IT isn't tricky and it doesn't have its own fucking pitfalls. I'm sure it's just as complex as this shit is. But I don't know. I feel like plugging in a cable or two that I used to be a tech, right? So I've had multiple jobs, by the way. I'm 30 and I've had a fuck ton of jobs. One of my jobs in Austin was a medical equipment technician. And so I worked in hospice, which basically meant that if you were dying, you either had oxygen or you had a concentrator, you had a bed, and I would go and set that shit up. And a lot of that shit that would go wrong, I mean, almost everything that went wrong was just a cable or like a connection issue. Something wasn't plugged in right, or it wasn't um, sealed or tightened right, and that would make all the difference in the fucking world. It was never like, oh, we have to send it off to, you know, the Philips or whatever company makes the machine. It was always like, oh, you just need to do this because those things are already designed to be fucking robust. Like they're meant to be tossed around and shit. Lord knows we would in the fucking company truck. But yeah, I would imagine that that would be easier than okay, figure this whole fucking. We need this feature to and have it done within 2 weeks. Like get the fuck out of here. And you have like a fucking army of programmers trying to wrap their fucking heads around something. Well, yeah, folks, this is me. This is me working on this bonus assignment that I inevitably mess up because for whatever reason it makes a duplicate. You'll see later on in the video. I think it's like I make two copies of the answers. So else a fuck ton of elifs and then oh no, it's an if statement, and then like seven elifs and then an else. And then I scroll back up and I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Why is there? So you watch me go to line 30, and then there's the same fucking responses, answers again. So that fucked everything up. But nonetheless, that was my poor attempt at this. You guys, if you're also going through this, the whole Code Academy thing, how far along are you? How's it been going? Um, Also, if what are y'all's thoughts on the whole whatever's going on with the country right now? Hit me up, make a comment, DM. Till next time. Bye. Thanks for watching.